This week in artificial intelligence. News, advances and business. Baidu rolls out paid driverless taxi service in Beijing. Baidu Apollo robotaxis move on the street at the Shaogang Park in Beijing, Sunday, May 2, 2021. Chinese tech giant Baidu rolled out its paid driverless taxi service on Sunday, making it the first company that commercialized autonomous driving operations in China. China makes world's largest satellite image database to train AI. Better Ray satellite imaging database containing detailed information of more than 1 million locations has been launched in China to help reduce errors made by artificial intelligences when identifying objects from space. Microsoft open sources Counterfeit, an AI security risk assessment tool. Microsoft today open-sourced Counterfeit, a tool designed to help developers test the security of AI and machine learning systems. The company says that Counterfeit can enable organizations to conduct assessments to ensure that the algorithms used in their businesses are robust, reliable, and trustworthy. Hive raises $85 million for AI-based APIs to help moderate content, identify objects and more. As content moderation continues to be a critical aspect of how social media platforms work, one that they may be pressured to get right, or at least do better in tackling. A startup that has built a set of data and image models to help with that, along with any other tasks that require automation. Sprout raises $11 million. Series A led by Octopus Ventures to apply AI to insurance claims. It was way back in 2018 that Omnius appeared to disrupt the insurance market by applying AI to this most legacy of all industries. It has now gone on to raise $44.1 million. In a similar vein, Shift Technology in France has raised $100 million. Argo AI readies its own LiDAR sensor for Ford automated vehicles. Like many if not most developers of automated driving systems, ADS, Pittsburgh-based Argo AI has relied on Velodyne LiDAR sensors as a key component of its sensor suite ever since the company was founded in late 2016. Symbio Robotics, the tech behind Ford Motor Company's AI-enabled assembly line, is pioneering the next frontier of manufacturing through a combination of artificial intelligence, AI, and industrial robotics. Symbio Robotics today announced its work with Ford Motor Company to deploy an AI-controlled robot at the automaker's Livonia transmission plant. Intel is leveraging AI to drive sales. The company expedited plans to apply AI throughout the customer lifecycle over the past 12 months, particularly on the marketing side of the house, where the goal was to tap AI to help identify and solve selling pain points. Apple hires ex-Google AI scientist who resigned after colleagues' firings. Apple said on Monday it has hired former distinguished Google.o scientist Samui Benjo, who left the search giant amid turmoil in its artificial intelligence research department. "I was terrible at crosswords, so I built an AI to do them." Matt Ginsberg is good at a lot of things. He is an AI scientist, author, playwright, magician and stunt plane pilot. But he isn't very good at crosswords. In fact, despite writing them for the New York Times, he says that when they are published, he often cannot solve his own. Now for AI's latest trick, writing computer code. Programs such as GPT-3 can compose convincing text. Some people are using the tool to automate software development and hunt for bugs. Robots at work and play. Gathered here are recent images of robotic technology, including an animatronic dolphin, a virtual Olympic torch-bearer, a Martian explorer, a fried chicken deliverer, firefighting machines, a seabed mining robot, and much more. Concerns and hype. The autonomous vehicle world is shrinking. It's overdue. The AV industry has promised too much for too long, and has delivered too little. It began as an AI-fueled dungeon game. It got much darker. The game touted its use of the GPT-3 text generator. Then the algorithm started to generate disturbing stories, including sex scenes involving children. No, AI will not be replacing you soon. There's a lot of talk about AI, but it can be an emotive subject, with talk of computers replacing humans. We have some news for you: they won't. At least not unless we want them to. US banks deploy AI to monitor customers. Workers amid tech backlash. Several US banks have started deploying camera software that can analyze customer preferences, monitor workers and spot people sleeping near ATMs, even as they remain wary about possible backlash over increased surveillance, more than a dozen banking and technology sources told Reuters. Deepfake detectors and datasets exhibit racial and gender bias. USC study shows some of the datasets used to train deepfake detection systems might underrepresent people of a certain gender or with specific skin colors. That's all for this week. If you are not subscribed and liked this, feel free to subscribe, like and don't forget to share your comments.